Good morning, dear children. Let us continue the lesson motion in a plane. Okay. Last class we have learned how we can add or how we can subtract two vectors. Also we have studied the rectangular components of vectors and how to resolve a vector. Isn't it? And today's class we are going to discuss how we can multiply or how we can take the product of two vectors. Okay, how we can multiply or how we can take the product of two vectors. And the multiplication of vectors can be done in actually two ways. The first method is by taking the scalar product. By taking the scalar product or dot product. Okay, by taking the scalar product or dot product. And second is by taking the cross product or vector product. Okay, by using these two methods we can multiply two vectors. Okay, we can multiply two vectors either by taking the dot product or by taking the cross product. Okay, or we can say either by taking the scalar product or by taking the vector product. Isn't it? Let's see one by one. First we can discuss about the scalar product or dot product. Scalar product or dot product. Suppose we have two vectors A and B. Suppose we have two vectors A and B. The scalar product of these two vectors can be represented as A. First we have to write the vector A. After A we have to put a dot. Then vector B. Okay, and this can be written as A dot B. Okay, first we have to write the first vector A, then put a dot, then after that we have to write the second vector B. Then how we can read this A dot B? Okay, actually A dot B, that represents the scalar product or dot product. Isn't it? And this can be represented as, first we have to take the modulus of vector A. Then how, you know how we can represent the modulus of vector. First we have to write the vector, then in square bracket. This represents the modulus or the magnitude of the vector. That into next the modulus of the second vector, that is vector B. Modulus of B or the magnitude of vector B. Next we have to write the cosine of angle. Suppose the two vectors, this is vector A and this is vector B. Let theta be the angle between these two vectors. Then we have to take the cosine of this angle. That means into cos theta. Okay, where actually theta represents the angle between these two vectors. We have to take the cosine of that angle. Isn't it? So we can write the scalar product of two vectors A dot B as modulus of vector A, then modulus of vector B and cosine of angle between the two vectors A and B. Simply we can say it is cos theta. Okay, you know what is modulus of vector A? Actually it is A. Then modulus of vector B, actually it is B. Then cos theta. So the value of A dot B or the scalar product or the dot product of these two vectors A and B is actually AB cos theta. Okay, actually it is AB cos theta. So we can say A dot B is equal to AB cos theta. Okay, and what is A dot B? Actually it is AB cos theta. So the scalar product or dot product of two vectors A and B is defined as the product of magnitudes of A and B. Products of magnitudes of A and B and the cosine of angle between A and B. Isn't it? That is the scalar product or dot product of two vectors A and B. Okay, the scalar product or dot product of two vectors A and B is defined as the product of magnitudes of A and B. Product of magnitudes of A and B and the cosine of angle between A and B. Okay, the scalar product or dot product of two vectors A and B is defined as the product of magnitudes of A and B and the cosine of angle between A and B. Suppose we have two vectors A and B, then its dot product can be represented as A dot B, that is equal to modulus of A into modulus of B into cos theta. Actually modulus of A is actually A, then modulus of B is B, then cos theta. So we can write A dot B is equal to AB cos theta. Okay, here actually A is a scalar, that thing you know, then B is a scalar, so also the angle is also a scalar. So by taking the scalar product of two vectors, we got a scalar quantity. We got a scalar quantity. That is, it is called the scalar product. Okay. So we can say the scalar product of two vectors must be a scalar. Okay, the scalar product of two vectors must be a scalar. Okay, that is, after taking the scalar product or dot product of two vectors, we got a scalar quantity, isn't it? So we can say the dot product A dot B is equal to AB cos theta. Okay. Let's see some physical examples for scalar product. Okay, physical examples of scalar product. Here we have a F dot S. Okay, here we have got F dot S. Actually F means, F stands for, actually it is force. Then S stands for actually displacement. Okay, you know, force is a vector quantity, also displacement is a vector quantity. Okay, after taking the dot product of force and displacement, or after taking the scalar product of force and displacement, we will get another physical quantity, that is that thing already you studied in 9th standard. Okay, force into displacement, that will give what? Work done. Force into displacement, that will give work done. Okay, that is, work done is the dot product of force and displacement. Work done is the dot product of force and displacement. Here actually the work, that is actually a scalar. Work is a scalar quantity. Okay, that means what we can say, by taking the dot product of two vectors, we got a scalar quantity. Okay, work done is the dot product of force and displacement. Okay, let us consider another example here. Here actually F that represents force, then velocity V represents what? Velocity. So by taking the dot product of force and velocity, we will get another physical quantity P, actually that is power. Actually that is power. Okay, this thing we will see on next chapter. Okay, and here, so we can say the power can be represented as the dot product of force and velocity. Power can be represented as the dot product of force and velocity. Here the force and velocity are actually vector quantities. So after taking the scalar or dot product of force and velocity, we will get another physical quantity power, that is again a scalar quantity. That is again a scalar quantity. So the dot product of force and velocity, that will give power. Isn't it? So we can say the scalar product or the dot product of two vectors must be a scalar one. Isn't it? The scalar or the dot product of two vectors must be a scalar quantity. Okay. Next, about the properties of scalar product or dot product. Properties of scalar product or dot product. The first property is scalar product is commutative. You know what is commutative? Okay, scalar product is actually commutative. So suppose we have two vectors A and B, we can represent the commutative property as A dot B is equal to B dot A. Isn't it? A dot B is equal to B dot A. That is the commutative property. Okay, scalar product is commutative. That is A dot B is equal to B dot A. Then the second property is scalar product is distributive over addition. Scalar product is distributive over addition. So we can represent, suppose we have three vectors A, B and C, then the distributive property can be represented as A dot B plus C. Okay, A dot B plus C is equal to A dot B plus A dot C. Okay, That is the distributive property. A dot B plus C, that is equal to A dot B plus A dot C. So the first property is the scalar product is commutative. Then the second property is the scalar product is distributive over addition. So we can say A dot B is equal to B dot A, and the A dot B plus C is equal to A dot B plus A dot C. Isn't it? Next, the third property is suppose if the two vectors A and B are perpendiculars. Suppose the two vectors A and B are perpendiculars, then what is the angle between them? Actually it is 90 degree. Okay, what is the angle between these two vectors? You know, theta is the angle between the two vectors A and B, and here the angle is actually 90. So A dot B can be represented as actually AB cos theta. A dot B is actually AB cos theta, and here the angle is 90 since these two vectors are perpendicular. So we can write AB cos 90. AB cos 90. So you know the value of cos 90, actually it is 0. So we will get the scalar product as 0. So we can say if the two vectors are perpendicular to each other, then the scalar product or the dot product of the two vectors is 0. Okay, if the two vectors are perpendicular to each other, the dot product or the scalar product of the two vectors is actually 0. Isn't it? Next, here the two vectors, suppose we have two vectors A and B, they are parallel and acting in the same direction. They are parallel and acting in the same direction. Then what is the angle actually? The two vectors, angle is actually 0. So we can say A dot B is equal to AB cos 0. Angle is actually 0. So we can write AB cos 0. Then what is the value of cos 0? Actually it is 1. So AB into 1, that is AB. Okay. Suppose if the two vectors are parallel and acting in the same direction, then what is the scalar product A dot B? It is AB. Listen it. If the two vectors are parallel and acting in the same direction, then the scalar product of two vectors A and B is actually AB. Okay. And the next property is, suppose if the two vectors are parallel and in opposite direction, the two vectors are parallel and in opposite direction, then what about the scalar product? Here the two vectors are parallel and opposite direction, then what is the angle actually? Here it is 180. The angle is actually 180. So we can write A dot B is equal to AB cos 180. Okay, AB cos 180. But you know the value of cos 180. Actually it is minus 1. So you will get minus AB. Okay, the value of cos 180 is minus 1. That is AB into minus 1, that will give minus AB. Okay, and here suppose if the two vectors are parallel and acting in the opposite direction, then the scalar product of the two vectors is actually what? Suppose here we have the two vectors A and B, then we have the scalar product of such vectors. A dot B is equal to what? Minus AB. A dot B is equal to minus AB if the two vectors are parallel and acting in the opposite directions. Okay. The next, the scalar product of the vector with itself. The scalar product of vector with itself. That means suppose we have a vector A. Then what is the scalar product of vector A with itself? Means what? Vector A into vector A. Okay, that is the meaning here. The scalar product of a vector with itself. The scalar product of a vector with itself. So we have the vector A. Then the scalar product of vector A within itself means A dot A. Okay, A dot A. This can be represented as modulus of A into modulus of A into actually cos angle is actually cos 0. So cos 0. Okay. Then modulus of A is actually A. Modulus of A is another A. Again A. So A cos 0. Okay, actually the value of cos 0 is 1. Then A into A actually it is A square. Okay, so the scalar product of a vector with itself is the square of that vector. Okay, the scalar product of The vector itself is actually the square of magnitude of that vector. Okay, so A dot A, actually that will give A square. A dot A is actually A square. Okay, and the next properties, while we are taking the unit vectors or the base vectors, how we can take the dot product of base vectors or unit vectors. Actually, the dot product of similar base vectors, dot product of similar base vectors, actually it is equal to 1. Okay, the dot product of similar base vectors or the similar unit vectors is actually 1. How will get the value as 1 actually? Here we'll take first one, I dot I. I dot I. Actually it is a unit vector that represents the positive x direction. Positive x direction. Okay, I dot I actually can be represented as modulus of I into actually what is angle between I and again I. So the angle is actually cos 0. Then modulus of I is actually 1. Again modulus of I is again 1. Then cos 0 1. So we get 1. Okay, similarly the dot product of j dot A, the same way we can prove. Okay, j dot j, again that is equal to 1, or k dot k, that is equal to 1. So we can say the dot product of similar base vectors or the dot product of similar unit vectors is actually 1. This is very important. Okay, I dot I is equal to j dot j is equal to k dot k is equal to 1. Okay, the dot product of similar base vectors is actually 1. So we can say I dot I is equal to j dot j is equal to k dot k is equal to 1. But when we take the dot product of dissimilar or the different base vectors, first we can take I dot j. You know, I that represents a unit vector along the x direction. You know, j that represents the unit vector along the y direction. Okay, and here we can represent this I dot j as modulus of I into modulus of j into cos theta. Okay, you know, modulus of I, the magnitude of unit vector is actually 1. So 1 into modulus of j, that is again 1 into cos theta. You know, what is the angle between these two vectors? Actually it is cos 90. Okay, so I will cos 90 is 0, so I will get 0. So I dot j is actually 0. Similarly, we can say j dot k is again 0, then k dot I is again 0. So the modulus of different base vectors is 0. Sorry, the scalar product of different base vectors is 0. The scalar product of different base vectors is actually 0. Okay, that is about the properties of scalar product. The first property is scalar product is commutative. So we can write A dot B is equal to B dot A. And the second property is scalar product is distributive over addition. So we can say A dot B plus C is equal to A dot B plus A dot C. Then the third property is, suppose if the two vectors are perpendicular. Suppose we have two vectors A and B, they are perpendicular, then its scalar product is 0. Okay, if the two vectors are perpendicular, then the scalar product is what? 0. The next is, here the two vectors are parallel, are acting in the same direction, then the scalar product is actually what? AB. So A dot B is equal to, we will get as AB. Okay, then if the two vectors are parallel and acting in the opposite direction, we will get the negative value. So A dot B is equal to what? Minus AB. Then the scalar product of the vector itself is the square of that modulus. So we can write the scalar product of vector A with itself, that is A dot A is equal to A into A cos 0. So you will get A square. Okay. Then about the dot product of the unit vectors or the base vectors. Dot product of unit vectors or base vectors. Here the dot product of similar base vectors is actually 1. So we can write I dot I is equal to J dot J is equal to K dot K is equal to 1. And the dot product of different base vectors is 0. So we can say I dot J is equal to J dot K is equal to K dot I is equal to 0. That is about the properties of scalar product. Next method of multiplying two vectors is actually by taking the vector product or the cross product. Okay, the second method is actually the vector product or the cross product. Okay, suppose we have two vectors A and B, then we can represent its vector product or the cross product as, first write the vector A, then put cross, then vector B. Okay, and this can be read as A cross B. Okay, first write the vector A, then put a cross, then what vector B. This can be read as A cross B. Okay, so A cross B can be represented as, first write the modulus of vector A, then the modulus of vector B. Okay, then here we have to take the sine of angle between A and B. In dot product we took what? Cosine of angle between A and B. But here we have to take the sine of angle between the two vectors A and B. So sine theta into n cap. Okay, here actually n cap represents the unit vector. You know the value of unit vector is 1. Okay, so vector A cross B is equal to modulus of A into modulus of B into sine theta into n cap. Actually modulus of A is actually, what is modulus of A? Actually A, then modulus of B is B, then sine theta into n cap. This is actually what? The cross product of two vectors A and B. A cross B is equal to AB sine theta into n cap. Okay, AB sine theta into n cap. So we can define the vector product or the cross product of two vectors A and B as, it is the product of magnitudes of A and B. Product of magnitudes of A and B and sine of the angle between A and B. Okay, the cross product or the vector product of two vectors A and B is defined as the product of magnitudes of A and B. Product of magnitudes of A and B and sine of angle between A and B. So we can write A cross B is equal to AB sine theta into n cap. Okay, then after taking the cross product of two vectors, we will get a vector. Okay, we will get a vector. That is the, in order to represent that physical quantity as a vector, we have to mention the unity vector. That is the significance of unity vector here. Okay, so actually it shows what the vector product or the cross product of two vectors is a vector. That is represented by the unity vector n cap. Okay, you know dot product or the scalar product of two vectors must be a scalar. But here the vector product or the cross product of two vectors must be a vector. Okay, so we can write A cross B is equal to AB sine theta into n cap. Okay, so the vector product or the cross product of two vectors A and B is defined as the product of magnitudes of A and B and the sine of angle between A and B. So we can write A cross B equal to AB sine theta into n cap. Very, very important, this the multiplication of vectors. That is the two equations. What are two equations? A dot B is equal to AB cos theta. Then A cross B is equal to AB sine theta into n cap. Okay, and here the vector product of or the cross product of two vectors must be a vector. Okay. Next, some physical examples for vector product or cross product. Examples for vector product or cross product. Here we can write torque. Okay, torque means actually the force acting in rotational motion. That is actually called torque. This this will learn in next chapter. Okay, torque can be represented as the cross product of position vector and force. Position vector and force. Here R represents the position vector and F represents the force. In linear motion, actually it is force, but when we come in rotational motion, instead of force, actually we are using the term torque. Okay. Actually it is analogous to force. Listen it. So the torque, tau. Okay, actually this symbol is called the tau. The torque tau can be represented as the cross product of position vector and force. So torque is equal to R cross F. Torque can be represented as the vector product of position vector and force. Okay, and here after taking the cross product of position vector and force, we will get torque. Actually it is a vector quantity. Okay, the torque is a vector quantity. Isn't it? Next example is actually angular momentum. Here L represents the angular momentum. That is can be represented as the cross product of position vector and the linear momentum. Linear momentum you know. Okay. But when we come in rotational motion, instead of linear momentum, we call that momentum as angular momentum. Okay. Actually it is the rotational analog of what? Linear momentum. So angular momentum can be represented as the cross product of position vector and the linear momentum. Okay, angular momentum can be represented as the position vector of, cross product of position vector and linear momentum. So angular momentum L is equal to R cross P. After taking the cross product of this position vector and linear momentum, we will get angular momentum, which is again a vector quantity. So we can say the cross product of two vectors must be a vector quantity. The cross product or the vector product of two vectors must be a vector quantity. The torque can be represented as the cross product of position vector and force. Angular momentum can be represented as the cross product of position vector and linear momentum. These are the examples for vector product. Next, the properties of vector product or the cross product. First is the vector product is anti-commutative. The vector product is anti-commutative. So we can write A cross B is equal to minus B cross A. Vector product is anti-commutative. So A cross B is equal to minus B cross A. And the second property is vector product is distributive over addition. Distributive over addition. So we can write A cross B plus C is equal to A cross B plus A cross C. Okay. A cross B plus C is equal to A cross B plus A cross C. That is vector product is distributive over addition. Isn't it? And the next property is if the two vectors are parallel or anti-parallel. If the two vectors are parallel or anti-parallel, the cross product of two vectors is a zero vector or a null vector. If the two vectors are parallel or anti-parallel, suppose we have two vectors A, vector A and vector B. These two are parallel. Okay, then what is the angle between them? Parallel or anti-parallel? Suppose if it is parallel, the angle between is 0. So we can write A cross B. You know, A cross B is equal to AB sin theta into n cap. Here AB sin 0 into n cap. Since these are parallel, the angle is 0. So actually it is 0. Okay. Suppose if two vectors are anti-parallel, instead of sin 0, we have to write sin 180. Again it is 0. Okay. So we get 0 vector. Suppose if the two vectors are parallel or anti-parallel, the vector product of two vectors is a null vector or a 0 vector. Okay, we have two vectors A and B. If they are parallel, then we can write A cross B is equal to AB sin theta. You know, A cross B equal to AB sin theta into n cap. So AB sin theta is actually 0 into n cap. Sin 0, value of sin 0 is 0. So you will get A cross B as 0. Okay, suppose if they are anti-parallel, then instead of sin 0, we have to write sin 180. Again the value of sin 180 is 0. So we will get 0 vector. So we can say if the two vectors are parallel or anti-parallel, the vector product is a zero or a null vector. Okay, and the next property is the vector product of vector with itself. The vector product of a vector with itself. So suppose we have a vector A, then the vector product of vector A with itself is A cross A. Okay, A cross A, and A cross A can be written as A actually sin theta, actually A sin theta. But when we take the dot product of vector A with itself, the angle becomes 0. So it is sin 0 into n cap. Again we will get 0 vector. So the vector product or the cross product of a vector with itself is again a 0 vector or a null vector. Isn't it? When we take the cross product of vector A with itself, we will get A cross A. This thing can be written as mod A into modulus of A into sin theta into n cap actually. So modulus of A is A. Again modulus of A is A. Then angle is actually 0. So sin 0. So we will get 0 vector. So the cross product of a vector with itself is actually 0 vector. Isn't it? Next, suppose if the two vectors are perpendicular to each other, then what is the cross product? Suppose we have two vectors A and B. These are perpendicular. Then A cross B can be written as A cross B is equal to AB sin theta into n cap. Then here it is AB, actually it is sin 90 into n cap. So I will get sin 90 is on, so I will get the magnitude of its product AB. Okay, suppose if the two vectors A and B are perpendicular to each other, then the cross product A cross B is equal to AB. Then the cross product A cross B is equal to what? AB. If the two vectors are perpendicular to each other, then the cross product of the two vectors is product of their magnitudes. Product of their magnitudes. Next we consider the orthogonal vectors or the base vectors or the unity vectors. Then how we can take the cross product of such unity vectors. Okay, and here we have the cross product of different unity vectors is actually cyclic. Cross product of different unity vectors is actually cyclic. That means suppose we take the cross product of first two vectors, that is I cross j. Actually it is equal to the third vector k. Okay, I cross j equal to k. Because these two vectors, the orthogonal unity vectors, they are perpendicular and also their magnitude is unity. So while taking the cross product of first two vectors, we will get the third vector. So I cross j is actually k. Then what about j cross k? What is the third vector? After taking cross product of j cross k, the remaining is actually I. So it is I. Then we will take, first we will take I cross j as k. Then j cross k as I. The next k cross I. K cross I what? It is j. So the cross product of different unity vectors is actually cyclic. Okay, it will go in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, here it is in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so I cross j is what? I cross j is k. Then j cross k is actually I. Then k cross I is actually j. Okay, the next step we can write j cross I. When we take, change the position of I and j. So j cross I is actually it is minus k. Then k cross j. J cross k can be written as j cross k. That is minus I. Again I cross k can be written as minus j. Okay. These are the values. Okay. Here I cross j is k. Then j cross I is minus k. Then j cross k is I. Then k cross j is minus I. Then k cross I is j. Then I cross k is actually minus j. And suppose we take in the cross product of similar unity vectors. That means I cross I. When we take I cross I, actually it is modulus of I into sine 90. Modulus of I into, actually it is I cross I is equal to modulus of I into actually sine theta. Then same vectors, then what is the angle? 0. So it is 0, sine 0. Actually it is 0. So I cross I equal to 0. Similarly we can write j cross j again 0. Then k cross k is 0. Isn't it? So the cross product of similar unity vectors is 0. Okay, and the cross product of different unity vectors is actually the third vector. Okay, so we can write I cross I equal to j cross j equal to k cross k equal to 0. Okay, these are the important properties of cross product. Okay, first is cross product of two vectors is anti-commutative. That is a cross b equal to minus b cross a. And it is distributive over addition. That is a cross b plus c equal to a cross b plus a cross c. Then if the two vectors are parallel or anti-parallel, its cross product is a 0 vector. So a cross b equal to ab sine 0 or 180 degree. That is equal to 0. Then the cross product of a vector with itself is again we will get a 0 vector. Then suppose if the two vectors are perpendicular, then the cross product of two vectors are product of their magnitudes. Then next come the cross product of orthogonal vectors. While taking the cross product of similar unity vectors, you will get a 0 vector. So we can write I cross I equal to j cross j equal to k cross k equal to 0. Then the cross product of dissimilar vectors, different unity vectors is actually cyclic. So suppose we have three vectors I, j and k. Then the cross product of first two vectors I cross j is k. Then j cross k is I. Then k cross I is actually j. Then taking the reverse, that means j cross I, that is minus k cross j, that is minus I. Then I cross k, that is minus j. These are the important properties of vector product of two vectors. That is about the multiplication of two vectors, or how we can take the product of two vectors. Okay, so we have learned two different methods: scalar product or scalar product and vector product. Okay, suppose we have two vectors a and b, then its scalar product is represented as a dot b. A dot b is equal to ab cos theta. Okay, then the vector product is represented by a cross b, that is a cross b is equal to ab sin theta into n cap. Also we learned the examples for scalar and vector product, also the properties of scalar and vector products. Okay, study well children. If you have any doubt then ask me. Okay, that is the end of today's class. Thank you children.